back to another episode of Let's Stay on Earth Survival. Today, we return to a freshly rated base and to a new dev Q&A to be talking about. And oh boy, this Q&A is probably the juiciest we've had in quite a while, and it really alludes to what I think the next big update is going to be, and potentially even what 1.8 is going to have. You guys will see why I'm saying this here in a sec, but first off, I wanted to show you guys that we have indeedly been raided. They broke through a couple of our stone walls there, so we're gonna have to make sure to do a couple of repairs on that. But by the looks of it, that is the only two things that they broke. Still have that random dead body over there. I don't know if that thing's ever gonna decompose, but that is the only two things that they broke. And luckily for us, they did leave footsteps behind as well. You can also see that we are ready and roaring to go to get our hands on, oh, there we are, Chopper. Let's fill you up with some of that gas. What was I gonna say? To get our hands on some more of that Chinese New Year event stuff. And the countdown continues, which is why I really quickly did want to say that tomorrow's video might be a little bit later than usual, because I think tomorrow I want to wait and see what happens when the timer does run out for the Chinese New Year event. Because if you guys look right here, it is currently at 1 day and 2 hours. So tomorrow's, like I'm saying, might be a little bit later. But I hope you guys have a fantastic day in the meantime. And without further ado, since there's no chopper event for us to go to or anything like that, and all we gotta do is head on over to the hidden garden, knock some stuff out. Maybe a chopper event will appear, because those are always a nice little detour. Before we dive on in, though, let's dive on in this dev Q&A without further ado. Number one, can you make it that we have the chance to get flare guns from Bunker or Trader? Yes, we mentioned that many of you enjoyed flare guns, so we will give you a chance to get this weapon, which is awesome news, because before, the flare gun was specifically a Christmas event specific item, but it was one of the items that were actually left over and didn't despawn after the event ended. So a lot of people thought that, oh, there's gonna be a limited edition or something, but they're such an awesome weapon because they're literally the only weapon right now that sets people on fire, which might actually be kind of like a precursor, a little bit of a first step towards then potentially getting our hands on the flamethrower. But I digress. But that is awesome news that we will be able to get this out of the bunker, or however the hell Kafir thinks of us being able to get the speed of that. The bunker is open for, well, it's closed for business again, which means you can head on over there and open up some tickets, or use some tickets to open up some crates. So we might do that. But this is awesome to hear that they are going to add a way for us to get flare guns, because they are a very, very cool weapon. I'd love to hear regarding this Q&A from you guys in the comment section down below. Some of your thoughts, especially on a couple of these points that I really highlight and emphasize. I'd love to hear maybe your thoughts on my thoughts, your thoughts in general, any of that jazz. And a reminder that that comment down below is going to put you third away instantly making $25 iTunes Play Store gift card giveaway. All you gotta do as well is make sure that like button, make sure to subscribe. Boom shakalaka. Boom, you are entered into this video. Y'all can enter it on future videos, on past videos, and on alternate universe videos. Don't know how you're gonna get in that alternate universe, but hey, if you manage, best of luck to you over there in that alternate universe, you know? But yeah, you guys can do that, and then when Saturday rolls around, we'll pick a random last night video from the past week, pick a random comments, and if that comment did everything I just said, boom, we got a winner. He'll be announced, he'll be messaged, and or she. We got guys and gals around here, and you will be receiving the code of your choice between Android and iOS. All right, so let's move on to number two. When will you add a new location like the town you showed us? Oh, and don't feel like you have to make it harder just because it's new. You can just make it normal. We don't try to make everything harder. Right now, we're busy working on the Dark Zone we mentioned in one of our previous parts of the dev Q&A. Its development is quite time consuming, but we believe it's the most necessary thing to finish at the moment. So if you guys haven't been keeping up with these Q&As, long story short, the Dark Zone is going to be the multiplayer zone / multiplayer area where we'll be able to do co-op and potentially even PvP events. But like it's just gonna be mainly an area where we end up interacting each other, and probably our first taste at multiplayer, because multiplayer, from what Kafir has said in the past, is not going to affect any of these areas. They are going to have special areas where multiplayer things do take place. So that's gonna be very awesome, because this really means that they are diverting a lot of their resources towards making multiplayer happen. And here's the thing, making multiplayer happen is very time consuming, because originally Last Day on Earth was a single player game. If you try to turn a game from single player to multiplayer, it's happened to games before in the past, it takes a good amount of time because multiplayer is just an entirely new element. And this is why I think that the Dark Zone, the first thing we're going to get out of there is going to be co-op events, because co-op events will be the best way for Kafir to actually test how their multiplayer systems work, make sure that there's not too much lag. If there is lag, fix that up before incorporating PvP stuff. Because if you're doing PvP, right, something like some lag could really be game breaking. So it makes sense that they might do PvE first. So I think that that will be the first iteration of the Dark Zone, and even potentially, since they are saying that they are putting a lot of resources into working on the Dark Zone, if I had to guess, the Dark Zone will probably be update 1.8, which again will be the first iteration of this whole multiplayer experience, which is going to be a huge step for Last Day on Earth and a huge game changer. And my best guess is that they're waiting and potentially going to put a couple of zones into the Dark Zone to begin with. We don't 100% know how it's going to work. A lot of it is going to be speculation and taking information from what they've said in previous dev columns, but it does make sense that a lot of resources are being put towards the Dark Zone, and I'm very excited not only to see it incorporated, but also to potentially be fighting with you guys side by side. And this is definitely one of those points where I would love to hear your guys' ideas, your guys' thoughts, your own hypotheses, that type of stuff. But definitely one of the biggest points in this dev blog, that this is the reason that maybe updates haven't been as plentiful, because they're putting a lot of work into something big, into the Dark Zone, which again is going to be multiplayer. Number 3, why not increase the number of materials which have to be transformed into counters and furnaces? Maybe for the night, bring them to 40. We'll think it over, so hopefully this is something that they do consider, because sometimes it sucks when you can only put 20 items into a resource, and let's just say you gotta go to sleep like, I don't know, I usually get like 6-7 hours of sleep or something like that. Maybe you sleep more, but usually that's a lot more time. And maybe if you're like transforming wood into planks or something like that, a full stack will be done, plus a ton of leftover time. So this is kind of saying that, hey, can you increase that so maybe overnight we'll be able to process a lot more stuff? And they said we'll think it over, so hopefully they really do think this over. This isn't like a huge content change or anything new addition, but it is one of those like quality of life improvements that could really help, because it would just make like mainly just the amount of time you can be away from Last Day on Earth a little bit bigger, and give you an opportunity to be more productive with what you're doing as well, and even be away from home a little bit longer. Number 4, when will you implement new content such as clans, workers, and especially new areas with materials? We'll release it when such things are ready. It takes time to create, test, and implement, and then release such big updates. If we don't post concepts every day, it doesn't mean we are not working on what you are waiting for, especially because just out of like, from my knowledge of how development cycle works for games in general, not just Last Day on Earth, concept art is something that specifically the artists work on. That's kind of like the first step of getting something in a game. After that, they need to turn that concept art into like in-game models. Then they gotta like combine all the models, put them into an area. Then they gotta add programming, so all the stuff like if there's moving parts or if it's like a new enemy, they walk around, you gotta give them health and all that jazz. Then you gotta test it, make sure it doesn't somehow totally destroy everything in the game, and stuff like that. So it can take a little bit of time, and that is somewhat understandable. And like they're saying here with the Dark Zone, it does make sense why maybe updates have slowed down a little bit, because they put a lot of their resources, a lot of their manpower into working on the multiplayer. And if and when the first version of that does release, oh boy, the hype will be unreal, at least from me. But again, let's be honest, the hype is always at pretty high levels over here on the Starsnipe channel. Number 5, what will be on the pump jack? The pump jack location, of course, is over here, kind of in the upper area. It's been kind of this mythical thing over in the fog, where it says you need a clan to enter this place. Originally, the point of it was to make it a checkpoint for capturing by clans in order to get additional resources. So let's just say capture the pump jack, and that you and your clan would potentially have probably something like a constant source of gas coming your way, and then you'd have to like defend it from other clans trying to take it over, get that constant stream, which is a really awesome idea. However, you can see that we are not sure about this idea right now, so it's highly possible we'll think of something more challenging. Kafir, honestly, that seems like a really awesome idea, and that would actually give people another benefit and really emphasize the whole point of clans, because you can band together. And while it is nice to have friends to talk to, friends to go on missions on, you know, if there's actually a benefit and you and your clan can go try to take over these areas, have to defend them, and in exchange for actually the longer you keep it, you do get like a constant source. Maybe every couple of hours you get like a stack of gas or something, or just an example, but every like set period of time you get something out of it. It could be a really awesome way of incorporating and further kind of pushing the importance of clans. And going forward, especially as multiplayer does come, it's pretty obvious that clans are going to be a big part of the game, and my clan will be supreme. Just have to Had to put that out there really quickly. Number 6, do you play Last Day on Earth or do you just make the game and leave us to play it? Yes, we play a lot. Actually, we play a lot on different devices during work breaks, after work with mobile internet and Wi-Fi to know how the game works under various conditions. We also watch your streams and read reviews in order to understand how to accept new features, or how you accept new features, complete different tasks, and in case we miss something, to fix everything as soon as possible. So this might not be explicitly saying this, but this is Kafir again saying, like they probably do once a week, that they do see what we say and they are trying to take that feedback. But again, just because we say something, you know, like I could say, I want free VSSs. And then if Kafir doesn't do that, you know, like you got it, like Kafir's still trying to keep a certain sense of balance. Sometimes that balance isn't the greatest thing for us as players, but at the end of the game, it's their game and they're trying to make this kind of ecosystem where all actions have certain values, certain costs associated with, and that's kind of like little bit more high level thinking. But at the end of the day, they do listen to what we say and take that feedback into account and hopefully trying to formulate a good balance to things, you know? And also with the first half of that question, they are saying that pretty much they test the game under a lot of different conditions to make sure that it is working. I saw some people on Reddit that were like, oh my god, Kafir plays the game instead of working. No, that's pretty much them saying that they test the game, which is something that like every game studio ever does. They play the game to test it and make sure that it's hopefully working as intended, and if they find out that it isn't, all right, time to get a fixin'. But the thing is, when they do get a fixin', it's not like it's a magical thing where it's like, all right, this will take 1 hour and magically it'll be done. Sometimes, trust me, as someone who's in college for computer science and programming, sometimes a bug will happen. You will spend days on the— if you guys can't tell, I'm very triggered by this. I had a homework assignment due last Monday. Let's not talk about days to try and fix it, and it will just not, like, it's hard because you don't know specifically what's going wrong. You have to track it down, you have to try to fix it, then you try to fix it, and other things break, and it's just a mess. But I do have trust in Kafir that they are working on fixing this stuff, because it doesn't make sense for Kafir not to fix stuff, because then the game stays broken for people, and if people can't play the game, that's bad, because Kafir wants people playing the game, because that's the point of a game, to play it, and Kafir's a company, and they need people to play the game. So if no one plays it, then there's nothing to be made. See what I mean? Number 7, you said you're working on hordes. Will there be certain types of events where zombies will be dressed differently, like adding zombie clowns in a carnival event? That actually sounds like a pretty cool event, not gonna lie. But yes, we mentioned it last time. We're working on it right now and can tell you about the concept, but take into consideration that sometimes things can change during the development progress. What we've got right now, the horde always heads its way from the plague spot. We want to allow you to destroy it and temporarily stop the horde coming to players' bases. You'll be able to get a rare item which will allow you to attract the horde to any location, and an even more rare item so that you can put it on your base and frighten zombie crowds away from your location. That's what we have in plans right now, and no, we haven't thought about zombie clowns yet. So this is actually a really awesome point, because that means this is a pretty big thing. Some people don't like the fact, especially with raiders being in the game, that the horde comes over here, absolutely does the poo-poo on your level 1 and level 2 walls. So here's Kafir saying that, hey, we are working on a system of actually diverting these guys, potentially even imagine, drop it over on someone else's base, just kind of hit them with the quick trolley-oly, you know what I mean? But that's really awesome, and even like a permanent item that you'll be able to get. Hopefully, again, they do make this item available to get through in-game stuff. It does suck because sometimes a couple of things are only possible to get, like currently, these two things, the military box and the safe, are only possible to get from in-game purchases. I really hope, and I really think that Kafir should actually incorporate some way of getting them, even if it's a really tough way still, as long as there's a way to do it in game, then I think it's okay for it to be a microtransaction as well. But if the only way of getting it is through microtransactions, it's a little bit iffy in my opinion. But those do seem like awesome items that I would absolutely love to see implemented in the game, and I'm actually kind of excited that Kafir has said that they are working on this type of stuff, because again, the horde can be a little bit of a nuisance, and in general, like, I know they said that we haven't thought about zombie clowns yet, but as weird as it might sound, think about it, a little like carnival, like maybe when they start working on city areas a little bit more. They've already started work, but I mean, like, when they're actually in the game, maybe there's like a carnival near the city that was happening while the zombie apocalypse hit, and you could, you know, you have like zombie clowns, because there are clowns at carnivals, I think. I don't know, I'm not really a clown connoisseur. I don't know too much about them here. Let's move on to number 8. There are a lot of survivors who have already quit the game. Is there anything you guys like to say to have the survivors come back? It's more important to improve the game than ask somebody to come back, isn't it? So this is kind of, I don't know, some people might take this the wrong way. I think it just means I think it's good that Kafir's saying that, hey, if people quit, that's their call, but at the end of the day, we just want to keep improving the game, and I like that, okay? I like that they are focusing on making the game better, because a lot of people seem to think that, like, Kafir has just, like, stopped working on updates. That's why updates are slower. Like, I'm just saying, if you're a game company, if I'm not gonna hire somebody to do nothing. Like, all those people in that studio best be working on something, and Kafir does have a really big and popular game. Last Day on Earth, over 10 million downloads. It's not like they're just gonna work on another game. Odds are it's not gonna be as popular as this one. So I honestly do believe that they are putting a lot of work into the Dark Zone, and hopefully within the coming months, potentially coming weeks, but probably coming months, we do see something, because like I said, I think it's gonna be in that 1.8 update. Usually it's right around 3 to 4 months. Kind of, yeah, right around 3-ish months in between massive updates. In January, we got 1.7. So my best guess is maybe March, April, we might actually see the Dark Zone in 1.8. This is from context clues from what Kafir's saying. My thoughts on that. Number 9. Okay, I get that this is hardcore survival game and nothing is safe. I understand and enjoy that, but there's nothing that gets easier as you gain more experience, and little to nothing that rewards you to level up. Why is it like this? And when are you going to change the leveling system? And finally, how do you intend on changing it? Just make this clear. I'm not asking to make the game easier, but to make it more enjoyable. Again, we don't want to reveal some information too early until at least some content is ready. We know about this side of players' experience and are working on new features which aim not to make the game easier, but more pleasant in some ways. We'll tell about it when we are sure about the way it looks like, and at least some part of it is ready. So this makes sense because Kafir is probably trying to spend some time trying to brainstorm, do a couple implementations, see how it works in testing, that type of stuff, and figure out a good system and stick with it. So I like that. Potentially as you level up, maybe you can like put skill points into like health, raise your health a little bit, maybe raise your melee damage. That would actually be really awesome, and hopefully that'd be a point that they could do. I'd love to hear guys' ideas though for a progression, but I think a really great system would maybe be you get a new perk, maybe some kind of a perk every like 10 levels, which is like a special little thing, and every level up you can put like a point into like extra melee percent or like extra energy, maybe extra health, something like that. There's a lot of potential ideas that really could make the leveling system super cool. And finally, number 10, when the city location is in game, will there be some factions in cities, like a random group of survivors who are trying to keep a government? The city of scavengers. Ooh. You know what that confirms? Another faction! Faction number 2, to be exact. So far, we have the Raider faction. Well, it appears when the city is added into the game, we will have the Scavenger faction as well. How will we interact with them? Will we be fighting against them? Will we be able to get quests from them, go scavenging throughout the city, return things to them? Or will them and the Raiders be at war? Will there be conflicts? I don't know. All I know, though, is that as more factions are added in, it adds in a lot more potential for a lot of coolness. And this is a very open-ended point, but a lot of cool potential behind this. And I would love to hear guys' ideas for what a potential Scavenger faction could be like, if we'd be doing quests with them, anything like that. And with that, that's gonna wrap it up for the Q&A for this week. Hope that you guys enjoyed. Can't wait to hear what y'all gotta say in that comment section down below. Ooh, getting all musical today. Can't wait to hear what y'all gotta say though. And again, best of luck in the giveaway as well to all of y'all's. And hopefully the hidden garden is ready to go. It might not be ready to go yet because it did take us some time to finish that awful quest that happened last time, but maybe we can hit the gong. No, we can't hit the gong. Mulan, yeah, come back tomorrow at the same time. You know why? Because we had to do her stupid green tea quest, and I'm sorry, that quest was a struggle. All right, green tea is not the best thing to get. It's just hard. You gotta go through all these zones, and it's like bleh. But you know what we can do? Honestly, we can just go ahead and toss a couple of things in here, and I don't know. Why don't we just go straight onto a raid? Like, we're pretty ready, all things considered. I just don't know if I want to put this away into a chest, because if we come back, the chest can respawn. So maybe we'll have to go on a raid with a couple extra inventory slots, but so be it. I'm not about to sit around on my booty. No. The only booty I care about is the pirate booty. in Sea of Thieves. If you guys haven't watched that video yet, Sea of Thieves, we got another episode coming today, hopefully. I hope you guys enjoy that. That series is really awesome. I do encourage you guys to check out other videos. I know the Last Day on Earth videos are the best on the channel and by far do get the most views, but let me just say, there are a couple other videos that come out. If you ever see a new game potentially being covered, I'm just saying, give it a go, because I have played some really awesome games lately, like stuff like Hunt Showdown. Ooh, Hunt Showdown's actually a doozy, and there is some super cool stuff coming as well. So I just encourage you guys, you know, if you see a new video, give it a go, you know? Like, if you don't like it, then no worries, but I just like to encourage you guys, because maybe you'll find a game where you're like, oh my god, how did I not know this existed? You know? And I don't know. That was me a couple years ago when I found out about Fallout. I'm just like, oh. You know, I saw one of my favorite YouTubers, SSOHPKC, if y'all remember him. Oh, he's an old school YouTuber. Definitely old school. But he posts a lot of Fallout videos. I'm like, meh. I just liked watching his Super Mario videos. That man, hey, dude, he was a funny Super Mario commentator, all right? I just like watching Super Mario videos. They're like, nah, I ain't gonna watch no Fallout. Then one day, I'm just like, I'm bored. Gave it a go. What do you know? The game is freaking sweet. And what do you know? This loading screen's still going on. What is you doing, loading screen? All right, boys and girls, let me just say this is not a good sign. We should probably exit the game and hope that we didn't get the fabled 95% loading glitch. That would be very bad. So, please, please, please. Wish me luck. All right, I restarted the game, and everything appears to be working. So this might be a good sign. Maybe. I hope. Please. This guy, he has the best raid defense possible. The 95% loading screen glitch. Dear God, I've only heard rumors of this fabled defense and how to acquire it. And oh, there you go. We're in. Bless up for that. Oh, are you serious? That actually happened? Dang, so because of that, the game thought that we loaded into this area already one time, which means that we do unfortunately lose a little bit of noise, which is a very poopy. Now, when it comes to finding out where this guy's best stuff in his base is gonna be, looks like he's got a pretty big little base going. Why don't we try breaking through the level 1 walls? See where those take us. They're just a lot lower of an initial investment than the higher level stuff. And, hey, we can actually go through the campfires. Dude thought he was gonna be cheeky. Thought he was gonna stop us with that. No siree. And I think that's where his Christmas and other stuff was. If we're looking at where his best stuff might be, he looks like he's got a couple of doorways. Let's bust through this one and see where this one leads. Hopefully to the fabled room of treasure. I enjoy treasure. No treasure, but this is where he does start his base, which means the chests, they must be close. Why? I don't know. I probably would want my chest pretty close to where I'm actually spawning. Because, listen, I ain't trying to go on no cross-country road trip to find the goodies. And unfortunately, it looks like I'm gonna have to go on a cross-country road trip to find the goodies. It's my worst nightmare. Somewhere here we ought to be able to find them, though. And when we do, it looks like they're all gonna be in the same room, so I think that his chests should be pretty consolidated. Although, hey, zombies, yeah, get out of here. Just go. Shoot. Get out of here. And I'm also really excited for tomorrow. Totally random side note. Listen, at this point, if y'all are watching my videos, you know, totally random side notes are very common occurrences. Very excited for tomorrow. The video might be a little bit later, like I said, but there's a great and a lot of signs pointing to that mythical phase 2 happening. And honestly, this wall is surrounded by like level 2. I could see this being the chest room. I see a couple of chests. I'm gonna keep on breaking through a couple more of these rooms and see where all the goodies might be, though, before we invest too heavily into just one area. Potentially this place too. This one looks like it has some pretty good stuff. Hopefully these are all level 1 walls, though. I can't tell what type of wall this is. Okay, these are, oh, has a little bit more goodies as well. Well. This is gonna be a toughie, isn't it? All right, well, I say we try and open up one of these, see what the luck's looking like. Although I feel this one, this is why I think this might have like valuable metals and stuff, because it is right by this chest, or right by this workbench, and I can see that happening, because here he's got the chest by these two things, here he has that, and then these two correspond to this, so maybe there will be metals that were worked on in here. If so, I think we have a pretty good clue what the other two are gonna have. And hello! Called it, boys! Nothing like a little bit of psychoanalytical analysis. don't even know if that's a word, but it sounds scientific-y, so I'm making it a word. And we're getting away with a little bit of aluminum and some oak planks, which are always great, especially for the level 3 walls we got to repair back at home. It sucks that we lost some noise, but nonetheless, it's a solid chest. Definitely keep my eyes peeled on that. Our silenced weapon here is probably going to break. We got really lucky though, and we actually opened up a double silenced weapon in one of the packs we were busting open. We got a silenced pistol. I'm like, yay! All of a sudden, right after the silenced pistol, in the same pack, we got the silenced M16 as well, fully modded. I'm like, yay! Just kept getting better, you know? Now then, the game of cat and mouse between loot and me. It's a tough game. The stakes, they are high. And I like steak. That's not steak though, and oh god, they're gonna be pouring in again. Alright, why don't we get to this auto mode? Let's be prepared as soon as this thing does break. We do need to switch on over to the new gun to handle all these enemies running after us because there's a lot of them. Hey there, Toxic Abomination. How you doing? No, how you doing? Okay, this thing's about to break. There you go. Finish him off that way. This should be going a lot smoother and a lot quicker. And I'm gonna not use my med kits. Instead, I'm just gonna devour this man's carrot stew. And this guy, I think he's like a vegan or a vegetarian or something. He has a lot of carrots, which actually is a good sign because that means he's put a lot of time into the game. One does not become a master carrot chef without putting a lot of time into it. So I have high hopes for what this room might contain. Hopefully it'll be goodies, and maybe that other room will have good stuff, but I have a good feeling about I got a good feeling about this one, and we don't need to split any loot that we get. All the loot stays ours because we didn't do no deal with the raiders. Nope, we got raided by some random dude, and he was unlucky enough to leave some footsteps back to his base where we collect the goodies. Now then, the hard, maybe that lower area, I'm tempted to look into it. Like here, we found some pretty solid stuff, but we haven't found godly. Okay, there we go. A little bit better. Don't know if I'd put her in the godly carrot category quite yet, but oh, no zombies are running after us yet? Ain't that a miracle? I want to put her in the godly category yet. I think there are still some goodies in one of these chests, wherever they might be. Well, let's think. This had all his weapons and stuff. Maybe this one will have his better weapons. I'm feeling pretty good about this room. I don't know. Am I right? Hey, there we go. Engine parts. Worth it. Good investment. Anytime we get engine parts, it is always a fan-freaking-tastic investment because engine parts are something we need to stockpile, especially for the next potential vehicle we'll be able to craft. Like, you guys saw the cost for the ATV. That thing, at least as is going to require, like, what? 200 engine parts? We've been stocking up. I think I'm at, like, maybe 60. Maybe 80, counting the ones in my inbox, but still, a lot of engine parts to go. And anytime I could even chip away at that, that's a happy day to me. And I'm very happy that I found this. Thank you kindly there, my mans. And maybe I'll end up taking some, I'll organize your boxes for you too there. What can I say? Listen, I got some common courtesy. You are nice enough to have me as a guest here, so I have to reciprocate a little bit. I do wonder if there's anything good in this room, but I don't know, dude. I don't think so. I just hear the CB radio. And there's a lot of like level 1 walls. Here's why I really think that this room is where the best stuff is because it's all level 2 walls. Same with the other room. That's why we ended up finding some solid stuff there. It is because of the level 2 walls. And like I said, I think that chest is going to correspond. I think all the chests correspond to what they're by. So I think that one corresponds to stone. Not too interested. This one corresponds to metal. And this one corresponds to sewing. This man's most amazing arts and crafts and stuff. And will we ever have to use these C4? Dude, like, at this point, we have a lot of C4. We have like 6 or something. Nothing too crazy, but a good amount. Don't get me wrong. I just want to blow some stuff up, and I'm definitely not wasting on level 2 walls. And if someone has level 3 walls, I feel like the goodies they're protected must be even better. But all right, what do we want to put away? Why don't we go ahead? Definitely the engine parts. There's not a alternate universe where those things are getting left behind. And, you know, we could do... No, we already used all... We didn't even have to use any medical kits. I think we need to use a band-aid, so I'll use that. I'll drop the full quality pistol in there. I think that's an okay thing. I think there was some gas we could pick up, too. Might do that on the lickety-splits and see what that leads to us potentially getting. Something along those lines. And we'll keep on opening a couple of these crates. We might be able to open everything in this room. He's got 3 chests, but I think we have like 2 noise meters left, so really not a lot of room to play with there. You guys will see what I'm talking about as soon as we finish opening this one up, and we're gonna have to be ready to run for the freaking hills. I don't know, the rest of these are only level 1 also. Nothing too valuable here. He's got some bunker cards. A single red ticket. If that was at least like 3 red tickets, I'd probably take it, but I ain't sacrificing some of the stuff here for a single red ticket. If we're lucky, this, actually, you know what we should do? Let's drop off that gas first. But if we're lucky, there's gonna be a sliver of noise left over. Because I'm pretty sure small chests make less noise than like big chests. So, oh, also let's check what's in here. Just a random animal hide. Small chests, I'm pretty sure make less noise than trunks do, or whatever the bigger ones are that we open up. So if we're lucky, maybe things will be looking pretty good, but we can open up a slot there. Honestly, I'm tempted to toss out, we'll see. We gotta organize our inventory here. We're ready to make some sacrifices. The digital cameras, those things don't have a use yet, but they're not the most common things in the world, so those might come in handy at one point. I don't want to sacrifice those. I'll be ready to sacrifice a pretty poopy quality pistol and engine parts. Pretty happy to sacrifice those as well. And I don't know. I don't know what else I might potentially want to do away with. You know what we can do? We can toss out these pantaloons. Yeah, might as well. We're done fighting dudes, except for the big one who's gonna punch us as he runs towards us, but we're not gonna be engaging in any fights. We're just gonna be running away, so might as well say goodbye to these pantaloons, and then we'll take things from there, and hopefully we end up lucky and we can get away with one more opening. If not, though, I got a good feeling about this one against the wall. Let's really hope that the big one doesn't show up, especially because the big one's pretty big, and he might trap us in this corner, and yay! We still got a little bit of leeway to work with. Maybe this will be good. If not, though, I'm gonna get to running. I'm getting to running. Big one, he's probably getting to running too. Oh, yes, he is. Please don't block me in here. Hello. Okay. Ow, 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 ow. How can you fit through that? I can barely fit through that campfire. Get out of here, big one. Get out of here with your shaggy. Yeah, get stuck on the pickup truck. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. All right, I'd want to be me. So I just made it out of there like a freaking bandit, stealing stuff, raiding things. But no worries, the dude didn't lose anything because we always raid copies of other players' bases. Proof, a couple episodes ago, we raided the exact same dude. He had the exact same loot in the exact same spots, which means we never stole anything from him. We stole from a copy of his base. So no worries, don't feel bad about raiding, guys. At the moment, you ain't taking from players. You're just kind of taking from copies of players' bases. And whenever you get something stolen from you, that is not a player stealing your stuff. It might be like maybe when you get raided by a player, that also triggers the AI to come and raid you. But the player will never steal stuff from you. When things are stolen, it's from an AI, shows up at your base, does AI things to decide which walls to break, and then gets away with what he can do. And if the AI gets just enough stuff, which lately has been an almost broken pistol and a couple of weapon parts, he leaves footprints, and we get to go on a free raid in exchange. Pretty great. Way better than having to do that freaking quest line. And speaking of quest lines, Mulan has a fresh one for me. If it's the green tea, I swear. Yay! Oh, the rice is already done because we had the rice in the place. Hells to the yeah, dude! It's gonna be a super easy quest that hopefully will result in some goodies for us. Let's definitely just start using one of these guns here to take out these zombies. 2 shots! Ya done no, son. That's what you are. Let's grab some of these seeds. Don't actually want to grow all of them into rice. I want to feed the fishes. Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. And with that, 2 out of 3 quests are good to go. Might as well leave these things here. Why not? Just have a ton of rice ready and rearing to go. Couple seeds left over as well. We just gotta go around, do a couple errands for our girl over here. For our girl, Mulan. I wish these zombies dropped better stuff, man. They're all fabulous. And where are they dropping? Random pieces of cloth. At least drop me like a Gucci piece of cloth. Literally, just take a permanent marker, scribble Gucci on the piece of cloth. This is the apocalypse. Can't be picky. I just want to be able to say I got a Gucci piece of cloth, because who doesn't want a Gucci piece of cloth? How much would that cost? IRL. I don't even know. Probably a couple $100. Something like that. I've never bought Gucci in my life. I just know that it's expensive. And thus, being a college student, probably not something I will be in the process of buying. Mulan, I got your quest done. What you got for me? I've heard people say that apparently they've gotten like C4 and steel plates from this stuff. I don't, holy hell. This is a good haul. Thank you so much, Mulan, for not disappointing me for the first time in quite a while. Oh, dude, we even got the Guangdao. Yes, the new weapon. I have been wanting this thing forever. Look at this puppy. Look at the reach on this thing. Oh, you know what we're gonna do? What other Chinese armors do we need? We have 3 pairs of boots. It's more boots than I have in real life, dude. I have 2 pairs of shoes in real life. It's actually an all-time high. All right, usually it's 1 pair, but my mom was nice. Bought me a pair for Christmas. Bought myself a pair for Christmas. All of a sudden, I'm high rolling out here. But, holy hell, dude. I wish we were getting, like, body armors and stuff. But candied fruit and whatnot is not too shabby either. But this does also come the time for us to try and take on Mulan herself. And we're going to try to do it using a pistol. Because some people think that it's not possible to do with just a pistol. Well, I've proven them wrong before, and I think it's time to hit the gong and to prove them wrong yet again. All you gotta do is whichever side you see the zombies coming from, gotta start shooting that way. Mulan gets a couple kills sometimes. Sometimes she'll get those, but as long as you're running to the edge of the map where the zombies are coming from, you can get a head start on them. Oh, okay, she's probably got that one. Tie game. Okay, good. Perfect, this one might be nice. And now we get ahead 2 kills. And that's the thing, whenever the zombies, like a double, spawns on the same side, that's amazing because it gives you a huge advantage. And look at this. This is how you absolutely destroy Mulan at her own game. Except when your game decides to lag. That's not good. It's first to 16, so we just need a couple more kills. Things are going okay. Hello, terracotta zombies. Oh, barely got that one in time, I think. I don't know, Mulan might have got it. Oh my god, dude, she is just freaking sending these zombies flying. It's a close game. I don't like close games. I like when they're not close. Because when they're close, I panic, then I might choke it away. I'm good at choking. What can I say? Oh! Okay, we're at 13. 13-9. I see one coming from the north. Game, for the love of everything, don't lag on me now. Don't lag on me now. Oh, the comeback, dude. No! No comeback for you, Mulan. You know what there is for me, though? A chest with the... Dude, I feel like every time we open this, we get another reinforced beanie. Day 1, we got 1. Day 2, we got 2. Now we're up to 3. Like, can we please get some better stuff here, Mulan? Por favor. We got a lot of lotus roots, though. I wish we needed XP, because then those would actually come in handy. But hey, for those of you that aren't level 99 yet, this is really awesome. Because instead of having to talk to the healer or whatever to get you double XP, just got some lotus roots from doing this event. But hopefully we'll get the rest of that warrior armor. We do still have 1 more chance at doing this. So it's gonna be rough. All right, because tomorrow we should be able to do it before the event expires. I think we'll have like, because exactly 24 hours from now, what is our inventory is full? Okay, so I'm happy to head on out. Exactly 24 hours from now, that should be roughly 24 hours from now. I think that's gonna leave an hour left over on this timer that you guys can see here, so we're really gonna be cutting it pretty close. But yeah, 1 day and 1 hour, so in 24 hours it will literally just say 1 hour, so it's gonna be cutting it close, but we should be able to get that done. And there's a zombie attack underway, so why don't we just head straight over to Bunker Alpha? We do actually have something awesome to take advantage of. You guys remember that sorry gift that Kafir sent to players over a little fiasco that happened a couple weeks ago with the whole loot me thing going on? Well. We still got those 30 red tickets, never put to use. Ain't today a perfect day to put them to use and make this day even more full and packed of awesome things? Yeah? Yeah? We in agreement? Okay, good. So let's load on into here. Let's figure out what that marvelous code is that will open up the bunker for us to get into and do bunker things, because bunker things are what happened at the bunker. Today's code, 10288. Unfortunately for us, unfortunately for you guys, by the time this video is up, that code might change, which is no bueno. So if that does happen, hopefully someone in the comments is nice enough to leave a comment of some sort that will hopefully be the updated code. Shouts out to y'all. You're an amazing community. All right, I believe in you for doing this, but why don't we go and pop on open one of these buddies, acquire ourselves the red tickets that are going to be necessary for exactly this. Somewhere over here. Where's the sorry gift? Should be somewhere. Come on. There you go, the 30 combat gear coupons that we got. Oh, I can only afford to get 20. Wait, what? Game, what is you doing? Tickets stacked to more than 20. Bad game. Bad. What? Okay. Well, I guess we can only grab 20 of a certain item at any time, so maybe that's the reason for it. I was about to say, like, game, my inventory isn't full. Tickets stacked to 50. What is you doing? All right, now let's pick it up. And there we go. We're up to the 30 that we need. Let's enter that code 102888. Confirmed. Let's head in. We're thirsty and we're smelly. An awful combination, but that's all right. We've lived through worse diversity. Like one time I tripped and stubbed my toe. Let me just say, that may have been the toughest moments of my lifetime. Nay, of everyone's lifetimes in the world. Y'all ever had a stubbed toe? All right, listen. I don't think there's a greater pain in the world than a stubbed toe. All right, like maybe if your arm falls off, that might be cutting it close, you know, but you ever stub a toe? Let's be honest here, all right? There's some sort of black magic in that toe that makes it 50 times more painful. All right, now then I just gotta make it 100 times more painful for you dinguses trying to fight against me. Let's open this up and let's hope that our luck is good. Maybe get our hands on a C4, because I have not gotten a C4 out of this lately, and yes! We actually got a C4! Let's go! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Although we're not getting any silenced weapons. Can I please get silenced weapons out of you, like, one day game? Por favor? No. Who knows? Let's definitely put on the more improved armor, though, just so we can rock that around. We'll come back for the stuff in here as usual, but our inventory is a little bit full at the moment, so we do need to make a couple of sacrifices. Honestly, I'll just use that one band-aid because, yeah, we were a little bit hurt. So perfect. Look at that. We're coming out of here with a stack of 20, a couple of things we got to bring home and stash. But with that, that's a great point for us to actually go ahead and end this video off on. Thank you guys all a ton for watching. Wish you guys nothing but the most fan-freaking-tastic day with the most fan-freaking-tastic of luck getting your hands on a chopper, getting your hands on the C4. It is still possible. Bless up. I was starting to lose hope that you couldn't get C4 out of these anymore. Best of luck on your raids and finishing those quests. Best of luck in your base defenses and raid defenses as well. Best of luck in the Chinese New Year. And hopefully tomorrow we'll be entering phase 2 and going up against that boss and saying hello to Mulan's father, because in the game code there's a portrait of him, aka which means we have to talk to him in phase 2, which means something big's coming. I'm excited. But that's gonna do it for me for now. Wishing you all nothing but most fan-freaking-tastic day. Thoroughly gets more fan-freaking-tastic from here on out. Thank you guys all ton for watching. Have yourselves an awesome one. And I'll talk to you next one. See ya.